Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, December the 14th. I'm Clay Emo at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm a founding member of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Canucks lose 4-3 to the Nashville Predators in Nashville, a 4-3 overtime decision last night. But in doing so, in picking up the point, the Canucks come home from their 3-game road trip with 5 out of a possible 6 points with a 2-0-1 record. Wins in St. Louis and Columbus before last night's loss to Nashville. And last night's game was very similar to the Tuesday win in Columbus, except the fact that the Canucks didn't win. It was a pretty slow first and second period, and then Nashville went out to an early lead. Canucks clawed back, but Nashville looked like they're going to take it. And then tonight, or last night I should say, the Canucks scored, again, 2 late goals in the third period, which I'll talk about in a second. Only this time they fell short in overtime. Whereas on Tuesday night, they scored their 2 late goals in the third period to actually take the lead, and they held on to that lead for that 3-2 victory. So like I said, come home with 5 out of 6 points and feeling good. They should feel good about themselves. That's a Nashville team that's the top team in the Western Conference, and in 2 games against Nashville in the past 8 days, they have 1 win and 1 overtime loss. So 3 out of 4 points from the top team in the Western Conference. Pretty darn impressive. Now the Canucks come home for a 5-game homestand starting Saturday against Philadelphia, Philly, Edmonton, and then Tampa, St. Louis, and then Winnipeg to end off. So 5 straight games at home, and I'll talk about each of those throughout the week, I'm sure. But let's talk about last night's game. Shaky start. Anders Nilsson lets in 2 goals in the first 10 minutes. And, of course, a lot of people were then wondering why Travis Green started Anders Nilsson. And, of course, it makes a coach look bad when the goalie doesn't start off that well. First goal, mostly his fault, but I guess didn't help that Hutton was screening him, and the shot went right through Hutton's legs and then past Nilsson. Second goal, Bonino, quick shot. Biega tried to wave at it, but didn't deflect it, but maybe distracted Nilsson a bit. Doesn't matter. Nilsson's got to make at least one, if not both of those saves. Canucks go down early 2-0. And the thing about the Nilsson start, the way I see it is he hadn't played in 9 days, and I really think that Travis Green looked at the next 6 games, so last night's plus the 5 at home. He probably looked at those 6 games and wanted Nilsson in 2 of those 6. I would have gone Markstrom because he was hot. Then I would have gone Nilsson on Saturday, Markstrom on Sunday, and then give Nilsson one of the last 3. But hey, I still think he'll see 1 more out of the 4, not 2 out of the 1 out of the 5 coming up, if not 2. And obviously they want him playing well. Unfortunately, it was just a rough start. But to his credit, he settled down and he played very well, only letting in 2 more since after that, which I'll talk about in a second. So Nashville's up 2-0, and then Vancouver brings it within 1 on the 2-1 goal. I'm trying to think of what goal that was now. I didn't watch the game live. I was at a work event, so I had to come home and watch it on the PVR. The 2-1 goal was a nice shorthanded deke actually by Jay Beagle. A nice interception by Granlund in the neutral zone, pass over to Beagle, and a really nice deke on Pekka Rinne to get his first goal as a Canuck, first of the season. Obviously, that's what happens when it's your first goal as a Canuck, and a shorthanded goal. So 2-1. Then later, Nashville goes up 3-1. It was actually really good play. It was I think again it was Hutton trying to close the gap on the point man. So now I don't think about it. I don't know why he's at the point, but he tried to block, went through him, and a really nice deflection by the Nashville forward as Beagle was trying to tie him up in front of the net. And you can't blame Nilsson on that one. So Nashville goes up 3-1, and then cue the comeback. Canucks get a late power play, and it's because of a cross check to Bo Horvat from Roman Josi, and this got a little bit of play last night, but it's one thing I noticed when I watched it for the first time as well. Good on Jake Virtanen for coming in to stand up for Bo Horvat. So what happens is Josi cross-checks Horvat from behind into the boards. It wasn't too super dangerous. It's not like Horvat went face first in the boards, but still, it didn't look good at the time. Virtanen reacts, skates in from basically where he is up top in the slot, comes in, gives Josi a quick cross-check. Josi cross-checks him back, and then they're going to go at it a little bit, not fight, but at least push. Horvat, even though he just got pummeled, it wasn't that bad. Knowing that the Canucks had a power play coming, he actually steps in front of Virtanen and tells him, hey, stop, we got this. We have a power play. So it was really, really cool to see. Really great leadership from Horvat to do that, to step in and say to Virtanen, I got this, we got this, don't worry, let's make them pay on the power play. I'm sure he used more colorful language than that. But in essence, I really like two things. I don't like the way that Josi cross-checked Horvat, but I do like the way that Virtanen stood up for him. And I do like the way that Horvat came in and told Virtanen, thanks, but let's go to the power play and make them pay. And sure enough, they did. Brock Boeser unleashing a howitzer back to his regular spot on the offside there with a one-timer, getting it past Rene. It's 3-2. All's good. Looks like we have a chance to at least sneak a point from the Nashville Predators. Then there's a puck over glass penalty. Things can't get any better. 3-2, 2 minutes left, and a power play. And then Alex Edler ends up, actually, it was a Brock Boeser giveaway. Brock Boeser's starting to do a lot of these giveaways, actually. It's a Brock Boeser giveaway that Edler then took a slashing penalty. And now it's 4-on-4. That goes uneventful for about 45, 50 seconds. And then as soon as the Nashville player gets out of the box, it's 5-on-4. So the Canucks are shorthanded and they have empty net. So Nashville can't ice the puck, of course, but they can still go for the empty net. But somehow, Pettersson gains the zone, goes around the entire zone, behind the net, out to the point, a couple passes. Ultimately, the puck gets down to Goldobin, puts a shot on net. The puck bounces around a little bit. And then Horvat, the man of the hour, puts the puck in the net with less than 30 seconds left. I can't remember the exact time. And the Canucks earn a point going into overtime, 3-3. So Horvat not only took that check, not only asked Virtanen, hang in there, don't take another penalty to even it up, and then he scores the game-tying goal. And the comeback kids do it again. Very similar to the Columbus game, and it felt good. I was checking my notifications while at my work event. It was crazy seeing my phone going off and getting all excited. Then the excitement was a little bit short-lived in that Nashville won the game with about a minute and a half left in overtime. It was actually, thought they were, in watching the game later on PVR, I thought that they would have scored in the shift before where Pettersson and Boeser were out there for it seemed like a minute and a half, and Edler, and they were thwarting chance after chance by Nashville. But it was actually after a whistle where Horvat was on the ice, and it was a bit of a long shift as well, not as long as the previous one, and Horvat lost Sissons as he went to the net. And Sissons cut through the slot, see what I did there, and putting it behind Nilsson. And Horvat, to his credit, actually said that, he owned that mistake. And he said that was his fault. He has to make a better play. So despite Horvat doing a lot of things to help them earn that point, he was also the first one to stand up in the locker room and say, hey, I need to be better. That's on me, guys. And I'm sure if he said that in the locker room, I'm sure the teammates were like, no, don't worry about it. It's a team game. But to have a guy like that stand up and take ownership, take responsibility for the loss, that's captain material. Tying the game with 30 seconds left, that's captain material. Telling Jake Virtanen, hey, I just got smoked, but don't take a penalty on my behalf, that's captain material. So a lot of really good things that we saw from Horvat. So overall, yeah, it was a tough start, especially with their early 2 goals, but I can't really complain. Obviously, as the founding member of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, I'm positive about last night. We got the point, shaky start, came back, held on, and then the not a miraculous comeback, but a very, very exciting comeback, and they come home feeling good about themselves. So like I said, 5 games at home now to end off before Christmas. Canucks fans, what do you think? Talk about anything you want about last night's game. Talk about Nilsson's start. You talk about the fact that he was started over Markstrom. Maybe you could put some rationale down below as why you think Travis Green did that, if there is any rationale, or maybe you think it's just a crazy decision. Talk about Virtanen, talk about Pettersson, you can talk about Horvat and his leadership, you can talk about Beagles, short-handed goal, whatever you want to do. Leave a comment below. As always, I'll do my best to read, react, and reply. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, and for my 2-on-1 today, I talked about which division is the strongest division in the NHL. Spoiler alert, it is one of the Western divisions, and it's not the one that the Canucks are in. How's that? Anyways, check that video out as well, called NHL 2-on-1. Have a great day. Canucks are off today. They've traveled home, but they're off. And then tomorrow, they host the Philadelphia Flyers. Gritty is not coming, thank God. But I'll be going with my boss and meeting up with a couple other workmates at the game as well. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.